Yeah, it's going to be a good defensive game, just like I like it. And guys, before the Orange Bowl, Fred, I mentioned who I thought would be the biggest difference maker in that game. I mentioned tight end Brock Bowers, the true freshman. Of course, I think he has to have another big game to win on Monday night. He had a decent game against Michigan. You know, he injured himself. We will talk about that later in the show. But here are some other guys who need to also have some big games against Alabama in order for the Dogs to come out on top.
Touchdown, Georgia.
Bennett looking now, tosses under, shake and bake.
Block. Cook, 15-10.
On Monday night, the Dogs will need another big game from senior running back James Cook. He's having the best year of his college career and coming off a performance to remember in the Orange Bowl. 4 catches for over 110 yards receiving and a touchdown. Offensive lineman Jamari Sawyer says this is why Cook has elevated his game.
I think he's just more understanding his leadership role. Honestly, he's kind of helped his performance on the field, understanding that his leadership off the field can kind of honestly make him a more impactful player on the field. I know a lot of guys look up to him. A lot of guys, you know, take great respect in everything that he says. And he's become more of a vocal leader this year than in years past.
Bennett going to throw, breaking a tackle.
Speaking of leaders, quarterback Stetson Bennett will need to show up too. He threw 3 touchdowns against Michigan. He kept his composure on the biggest stage. His teammates appreciate him the most for his demeanor.
Country kid, down South Georgia kid. He'd be that one kid that walked into the locker room, you know, blasting country music. That's just Stetson. You know, he doesn't want to be a person that he's not, and he's never going to be. And I think that's just the genuineness in who he is and what he represents kind of draws people to him.
When the Dogs landed in Indy, head coach Kirby Smart told us Stetson's confidence is as high as ever.
Bennett loads, complete to the tight end. Back. Plenty of time.
Bennett going to throw.
Maybe it's because of his performance against the Wolverines, or maybe it's just Bennett being himself. On Saturday morning, he explained where he gets it from.
I'm not as confident in everything I do as I am in football, so I'd say it comes from work. It's not an ignorant confidence, like, you know, I believe I can do anything.
Stetson Bennett is what he does so well.
I believe I can play football really well, and that's from the work that I've spent over these past however many years I've been playing football. My parents have always supported me, and, you know, I've always had really good players around me, which is, you know, everything on the football field.
Of course, Stetson being a good leader, talking about his former teammates who are also so good and make him better. But listen, to be Stetson Bennett, you have to have more confidence than the average person. The amount of criticism he's taken over the last 2 years from people like me, I've been one of those people. I am not ashamed to say it, but I will give him props for his last game, Fred, against Michigan. By far his best performance as a starter at Georgia. And if the Dogs want to win Monday night, he's going to have to do that and then some.
He's going to have to do that and then some for sure, because that Alabama defense is stout.